Hi, everybody. I thought I'd pop on here and just have a bit of a chat. I'm in the process of onboarding or settling in two new people into my business. They're two virtual assistants, and it's two brand new roles. And what I'm doing is passing or handing over some of the work that I'm doing. And I thought I'd share with you because yesterday I was spending a bit of time thinking about what I needed to do to make sure that these people were fantastic and successful in their second week. So they started last week. And so I thought I'd share some of the tips and the techniques that I'm applying and that I recommend to everybody, because it's always nice when I'm actually sort of doing it myself. I spend a lot of time teaching other businesses and business owners what they need to do to create their awesome teams, and it's a nice, I suppose, check-in for myself when I do it for myself and I think, yeah, this stuff really works, and it's also really important. And I suppose the other thing is I know it takes up time. So, it's a nice refresher. So anyway, let's get into it. So I was driving down yesterday from the Sunshine Coast and I started thinking about what do I need to do this week to make my two new staff members really successful. And I thought I'd share with you 4 points that I came up with. The first one is that the new person needs to make sure they have a really long list of tasks and priorities. And particularly when we're hiring the first person for our business, or if we're hiring somebody that's a new role, that long list or that nice won't necessarily be a lovely job description. It might just be a long list of tasks that you just want to pass on to somebody. We need to make sure we prioritize those by way of things that are really important for the business or really important for you to get off your desk. So the first most important thing they need to have is a long list of tasks or a long list of priorities. And they need to make sure that they're somehow highlighted as to what's the most important stuff for them to learn and for you to teach them and for them to be able to get comfortable with. The second thing that I think is important with new people is to break their tasks or their responsibilities into success chunks. So I'll give you an example. One of the roles or responsibilities that I'm handing over is social media. So the responsibility of social media. So as we all know, that social media can be broken up into chunks. And so if I think of this by way of success chunks, one chunk might be creating the meme. The second chunk might be planning out the social media posting. And then the third chunk may be is scheduling that. So actually getting it on Facebook and Instagram or wherever else it needs to go. So if I look at that task, I've broken it into 3 chunks. And I look at that and I think, well, what part of that can be immediate? And how will we measure the success at each part? Because it's really important when you have somebody starting is that you're able to pass to them something that they can do immediately. This allows them to get some autonomy. It allows you to get some space, but it allows them to feel success. So the third point to think about is what are the immediate tasks that I can be getting people to do from day one? That might be as simple as reading up on your business, doing research, reading a manual or client proposal or something you've prepared before. Or it may be as simple as saying, why don't you go and schedule these things on Facebook or Instagram, because you'll definitely know how to do that, or I can take 5 minutes to show you. And you don't necessarily need the knowledge and the training yet that would be needed to do the other part. So if we think of that responsibility of social media, content creation, you need to understand our branding, you need to understand our tone of voice, etc., to be able to do that. Planning out social media, that second chunk, you need to understand more about the business and what's relevant and what's important to be able to do that. But scheduling it, so actually putting it up in advance based on something that I've already said, that's super easy. We can get you doing that straight away. So the first thing to think about is having that long list of tasks and making sure it's prioritized, and you're sharing that with the person so they know this is what I need to do first. The second thing is thinking, how do I break those things down into success chunks? So how they can get really comfortable doing one bit before moving on to the next bit. The third thing is going, what are those immediate tasks that I can get the person doing straight away, and ideally repeatable tasks that they can be doing every day or every week or something like that, as well as those sort of research-based tasks that they can do as one-offs. And then the last thing is scheduled feedback, thinking about when can I schedule right now time to actually sit down and talk to this person about what they've been doing, about how they're doing it. Because from the outset, you want to set the tone, the flavor that I'm going to give you feedback about what you're doing. It's going to be positive. There's going to be lots of stuff where we talk about what you need to do to improve. And if you do that from day one, week one, month one, and then you keep doing that, then suddenly those conversations aren't emotional or scary. They're just the way you do things. And you're also setting the tone that it's okay to make mistakes. I know you're not going to know what to do from the outset. So if we schedule in feedback in advance, then you know when you're going to have the opportunity to talk to me, to ask questions, and for me to give you feedback. So they're my 4 tips. Long list of priorities, success chunks, immediate tasks, scheduling feedback. Definitely helping me for settling in my 2 new people. I hope it helps you as well. See you later.